how's it going, folks? This is your host, Dirty Downs here. And today we're here to answer a question in regards to Red Dead Redemption 2, particularly in regards to Arthur Morgan and John Marston. A question that people have been asking for, well over a year now, okay? And that question is, why does John Marston never talk about Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 1? Well, I have two answers for that. One, the logical, common sense answer. The idea of Arthur Morgan didn't exist when Red Dead Redemption 1 was made. However, that's not good enough. That's just not going to do it. We need a really good, in-depth story explanation, and I happen to have a clip that'll really give y'all a good answer and understanding to that, and I'm about to play it in just a second. Before I do, I'm going to explain one more thing, but just keep in mind, what I'm about to say and everything I'm going to show is our spoiler warnings. This is a spoiler warning, okay? It's going to involve spoilers. Anyways, let's get to it. Arthur Morgan and John Marston actually develop a very strong relationship throughout the story of Red Dead Redemption 2, okay? Unfortunately, Arthur Morgan eventually, meets an unfortunate, he eventually develops a deadly disease. I can't pronounce this, sorry. That's embarrassing, but whatever. The fact of the matter is, it's a deadly disease. He's dying. John's shot and left for dead, which we all know that eventually happens. We actually get to see how that happens, and then Arthur helps John escape. He encourages John to get out of here, don't look back, and to develop a honest, good life for him and his family. John Marston does exactly just that. Shortly after he helps John Marston escape, Arthur Morgan shortly meets his redemption. Depending on your honor system, that can be a very honorable, beautiful ending or a pretty dark, shitty ending for Arthur. But anyhow, let's go ahead and play the clip. This clip will explain why John Marston never talks about Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 1. So here we go. Let's get down to it.
Arthur. He saved us, didn't he?
You remember that time?
Not much. I was only little.
He did save us, yeah. None of us would be here today if it wasn't for Arthur. But your pa don't like talking about him. Ain't that right, John?
The past is gone. We've left that behind.
Well, cowboys, there you have it. That is why John Marston never talks about Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 1. I see it's kind of painful for him. He really, because if you play through the story, you can see how their relationship really, seems to grow. And it appears to be, there are a multitude of reasons as to why, or I say a couple reasons why John will never talk about Arthur, okay? For one, it's painful for him. That's clearly obvious. And as for two, John is trying to completely forget about his past. He just wants to live a normal, honest life with his family. John is undeniably the most well-developed character in the entire Red Dead series. He's a man, he lived a terrible past, but, he grew as a character into a man with morals, and he tried really hard to be a better person, he tries to forget about the past, not just the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all together. And I think that's despite the fact that we don't necessarily get this explanation, in an actual story cutscene. It's just, a random conversation that pops up in at the Beach's host house between the family and all. I think it's a pretty good explanation. And me personally, I always theorized that would have something to do with it. That's what I always thought. Many people thought that John was going to end up killing Arthur, but I never thought that for 1 second. I always assumed that, John and Arthur would develop some kind of a good relationship, and I always believed that Arthur would save John in a way, because, it's like in the first trailer for Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 2, the first trailer, when Arthur says, listen to me, when the time comes, you gotta run and don't look back. I always believed that was him saying those words to John. And I should have a screenshot of a comment I posted a long time ago saying that. I was pretty dead accurate on that. I called that, but I'm not even going to waste time with that. But anyhow, so there you have it, folks. There's really no sense in talking more about it. But I figured this would be a good video, good explanation, shit like that. I hope that was good enough for y'all. But anyhow, I'm going to get off of here. Y'all have a good night, or day, morning, whatever. Be safe. Catch you later, dub. And, well, that's it. Bye-bye.